February stats are out, and we're going to talk a bit about what those numbers showed and some of the announcements that came out in February. Talking to other realtors and ourselves included, we're certainly feeling an increase in market activity, and that is beginning to show in the February stats. There was an increase in properties sold from 341 in January to 470 in February, and we have seen a steady increase month over month of new active listings. This is really good news for Victoria's real estate market with the steady increase in active listings and the relatively stable prices. This is helping buyers and sellers feel more confident navigating the market, as it certainly helps make transactions feel more predictable. The next Bank of Canada interest rate announcement is on March 6th, with many people expecting a hold to the policy rate, and we can assume that if that announcement does come with a hold to the policy rate, this will contribute to an active spring market. We did recognize a return to seasonal patterns in the market last year, and that's something that we predict will continue throughout 2024. Townhome sales did increase this past month, which is noteworthy as townhomes are an important part of the Missing Middle initiative that the City of Victoria has been referencing in new regulations. These regulations allow for houseplexes, corner townhomes, and heritage-conserving infill to be built in traditional residential areas. The City of Victoria is a relatively small part of the Capital Region District as a whole, but we can hope that municipal governments will continue to recognize the need for missing middle housing as a way to improve affordability in Greater Victoria, and will continue to streamline the approval process for this type of housing to be built. Something I talked more about in our last month's market update was the government's upcoming restrictions on short-term rentals in an effort to bring more of these units to the market as either long-term rentals or for sale. However, this initiative is unlikely to make a significant difference in regards to the need for missing middle housing, as many of the units that are being used as short-term rentals or Airbnbs are micro units or smaller condos that are more suitable for individuals or two-person households. Speaking to this, we did see a very slight decrease in the benchmark condo price from January to February, going from $559,000 to $557,000. That $557,000 number was actually an increase from the benchmark price at this time last year, which was sitting at $549,300. However, it is worth noting that the announcement with changes to short-term rentals did not actually come out until October of last year. Big news that you may have either seen on our channel or somewhere else was that the BC budget for 2024 included changes to the property tax exemptions for the first-time homebuyers program, as well as changes to the BC home flipping tax. Previously, under the first-time homebuyers program, eligible buyers were able to save on the property transfer tax for their first home, but only if the property was $500,000 or less, and there was partial exemptions for properties that were $525,000 or less. As you can imagine, this was a difficult exemption to take advantage of given the prices of housing in Victoria. In very exciting news, this threshold was changed to include properties up to $835,000, with partial exemptions between $835,000 and $860,000. And this now allows first-time buyers who are purchasing properties that are $835,000 or less to save property transfer tax on the first $500,000, which is $8,000 in savings. Property transfer tax does need to be paid upon the completion of a home, and it cannot be worked into the mortgage. So this $8,000 makes a difference in the amount that first-time buyers need in order to enter the market. These changes won't take effect until April 1st, so unfortunately, if you are a first-time buyer who just purchased a property, that $500,000 limit for the exemption will exist for you. However, we are really looking forward to this change, and it was long overdue for the first-time buyers program. There are some more requirements that first-time buyers need to be aware of in order to be eligible for the property transfer tax exemption. We've done a new blog post outlining all of these, and I'm going to link it down below. The next change was to the BC home flipping tax. So previously, if a residential property was bought and sold in under a year, it was subject to this home flipping tax, and that has now changed to 2 years. So now any residential properties that are bought and sold in under 2 years are subject to a 20% tax on the profits of the sale. There are some exemptions that exist, mainly if the sale of the property is due to hardships experienced by the seller. You could say this is more of a symbolic gesture by the government, especially in today's market. Home flipping is not as common. However, the issue of the cost of real estate is an ongoing conversation in BC, and while this probably won't have a significant impact on people looking to enter the market, it is clearly intended to appear as an action towards addressing the issue of affordability in BC. Thank you so much for watching this market update. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Bank of Canada interest rate announcement coming up, as well as these changes that we saw in the BC budget for 2024. So please feel free to leave a comment below. And as always, if you ever have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. We love hearing from you and we really appreciate your time. Thank you for being here.